Hi guys, it's your girl Adeola Patron.
And it's your girl Mariam Musa.
And welcome back to the Deep It podcast where we just chat shit. Sorry guys. No, that was a very unprofessional intro. But yeah, where we deep you guys' dilemmas, stories, and we also just share our lives and experiences with you. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And follow us on our social media, which is at Deep It Pod, to stay up to date and get interactive with our weekly themes.
Love that.
So our theme this week is when did you deep it was time to move on?
Ooh.
And that could actually be with anything.
Yeah, it's quite a broad one, this one.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And you know, sometimes I was deep the other day, like, well, what I add to my prayer is like, you actually do have to pray for, what's that word? They like discernment.
Discernment, yeah.
Because you need to know, like, you don't ever want to be in something longer than you should.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you also want to know that, oh, I'm meant to be here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just making that decision of,
Where your
should I
spirit-
move on now or am I supposed to ride this out? Do you know
Because
what
sometimes
I mean?
you don't want to move too fast.
Exactly.
You want everything to be thought out, planned, and well executed. The worst thing is doing
Exactly.
something too premature or something that's just not serving you anymore.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So I guess my question to you, Maz, is there anything or recent or anything currently that
Yeah.
you feel like you're kind of like, maybe I need to move on, or you're going through the questions in your head?
Okay, so I've got a few. I think I've had a few. I think not that right now, but I think I've moved on in so many stages of the old me. Okay, so I think there was a period, if we do work, let's start with work first.
Let's start
I think
with
that's a good
work.
one. I think there was a period where I was really unsure of what was my next step in life and in my career. And I feel like I was in an environment where I was with people that I trusted so much with my career, and I trusted so much with what was going on. And then when it gets to the point where, like, you know, there's sometimes there's certain seasons where it's just a bit quiet, it's a bit like you don't know where to go, I think. And I also felt like I had outgrown where I was with them. So then I felt like it was time to move on to a new management, and going from a management where they're friends, first of all, at the time and stuff like that, and you've known them for so long, and they've known your vision from who you were from the beginning to where you are currently now, is a really big and risky thing.
Yeah.
And I think at the same time, it's also a fear of, okay, I got to do what's best for me now. And that fear of like, oh, am I letting everyone down? Like, and then there's also a fear of like, oh, if I leave, will I do well without them? Like having that confidence in yourself. And then I obviously went to a new management, and that didn't actually last long. And I think I had a lot of shame in that. That did not last long. I think it was about 6 months. But I had to.
But what, I was going to say, at what moment for you do you feel like you know that, okay, this is the decision I need to make now, I actually need to move on?
I wasn't happy.
That's a good...
I just wasn't happy. I didn't feel growth. I didn't feel like, I felt stagnant. I think that's the best way to feel like that. And I feel like being in a position and you're actually happy is fine. Yeah. But if you're in the same position and you don't feel happy and you genuinely don't feel like
there's movement
or like a progressive movement, it's time to think, maybe this is the best I can do here right now, and that's okay. Maybe I've got to the point now where this is the best it's going to get, and it's time to leave the nest. It's time to see if there's another level, if there's another opportunities, other doors that another team can take me. And I think sometimes you had an epiphany, didn't you?
No, I just realized I've had 5.
Okay, right. So, guys, we're on the topic of management. So,
I was counting in my head how many managements I've had.
Because I felt really like I felt like I've moved around a lot,
and I see nothing wrong with that.
Well, now I see nothing wrong with that, because we were having this conversation how we think it's important. Like, you have to find the people that will do what you want for your career, because you also have to be the one. You have to be the one in charge of your career. As much as you need management. Excuse me, baby. As much as you need management, you also you have to be the one to find the right people that will give you what you want alongside you doing what you need to do. Yeah. So let's kind of have a walk down memory lane. How did you start?
So I started, I can't actually remember how I started.
Because you've been quite, because I've always had my old management from day one, from uni. They were just there before it even started.
Babe, and I remember I was just so like, I was like, oh, she's so lucky.
Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, babe, because I was really trying to navigate like
the scene, especially as a black woman.
As a black woman, and obviously like when I kind of first started, it wasn't as, you know how big it is now.
Yeah,
it wasn't big then, and getting management was actually hard.
Yeah, 100%.
So I remember I did reach out to who you were with, but they wasn't really receptive to me. I feel like I wasn't, you know, big enough at the time. And then I went to this other management. Something, I can't remember what they're called because I don't think they're even a thing now.
Was this after uni period?
Yeah, after uni.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I went with them and they had like the baddies. So I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, like, what are they called back in it? Taz Angels?
Something seen. No, babe.
But you said baddies.
No, as in the Instagram baddies.
Oh,
like Erin Bedina, Latisha, Grace.
Yeah. Were they not Taz Angels?
No, babe.
Am I thinking way back?
Way back.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, do you know what? Like, they're kind of like in the scene a little bit. So let me, because babe, I didn't really know, it was a new experience to me. So I was with them for a bit, had a manager who was really like, I was really close with at the time. And then she left and I don't even think she was happy with the company either. And I was just like, well, I'm only really here for you. And then babe, it just kind of was just like a mess.
Yeah.
It wasn't given professional, established company. So I was like, do you know what? Left as well. And then I went to this other company, which was, I think this was, I can't remember if this was milk management or I can't remember my timeline.
This is so interesting to me because when you saying milk management for me sounds so like, okay, these are proper model agencies. These are these proper established ones. And I've only known like at that period as well, just my friends come up as well, starting their own like agency. Yeah.
So I can't remember if this milk was second or milk was third. But then anyway, I'm going to assume that they were second. So I had milk management. And I remember I was so gassed. I thought, established. Yeah. They had like more doors. I remember they booked a shoot for me, like for my headshots and stuff. And babe, like nothing was happening the way I thought it was going to be happening. I can't
what do you think at that period was your expectations?
My expectations were to be working with like well-known brands, I believe. Like,
do you feel like, was that realistic expectations?
Yeah, I think I was realistic expectations because of now saying that, I think they were my third. My second was my black owned agency. Not my black owned agency, but it was another black agency I went to. So I was like, oh, okay, they probably understand the struggle more. And you know, they had influencers that also do what I'm trying to do. So I thought that would be easier. And that was also good for a time, but it got to a point where I was like, you're not doing it for me anymore. Left that. Then I went to milk, which is when I thought, okay, well established, well to do. I'm expecting more better jobs, like a career. I thought I could even go into modeling now. And then that was just it wasn't.
How did you know then? Because I feel like that was kind of like I was with what's they called it when I came out Survival.
Oh, was it something? I know
it was
they
like
all go with that.
Yeah, so it was like more of a reality TV.
Was it something?
Oh, what's it called? Oh.
But it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter. It was one of them management. You know, when you go on Love Island, like the All Stars Entertainment, the Neon, it was one of them. And we've already shared this story before, but if you're new, but after I came out Survival, I got really excited because I really wanted to get into reality. I really wanted to get into that star vibe. And I felt like a management and agency like that would be able to do me more. Hindsight, obviously, they hadn't actually had much black talent. So it's already kind of hard. And I came off a show that wasn't like Love Island. It was a 1-season show. It did all right for what it was. And, you know, what can you do with that? So I was expecting doing more reality. I was expecting the world,
my life to
change, and I feel like I deserved it. I lasted to the end.
You was a very big person on that,
and on top of that, a bonus when you come at those shows, when you come out with a relationship, is so much more. So I really did expect a lot, and I feel like I put a lot of they're gonna do it for me. And for me, when I realized it wasn't working was when sometimes, right?
Is this the post? Oh, sorry, no. I thought he was gonna. Guys, I will never forget that one post.
Don't remind me. Okay, let's talk about it.
Context.
Context, but there's more to it than that.
Okay, so guys,
How
yeah,
you
Maz
telling
wasn't
me
that close then, yeah. And Maz, guys, it's so funny because I wasn't that close with you then, but I knew you were gassed. When Maz came out this show, I could tell she was gassed. I remember your snap when you first got your phone
all the time.
Babe, you hadn't even got out the actual
thing. We were in South Africa, yeah.
South
Africa,
you was proper sounds like, yeah, this girl's gassed. But I was like, she should be, because I even thought, yeah, this girl's gone now. And then, anyway, fast forward, now she does this post with her man who's white. Sorry, her ex at the time, who was white as well.
If you know, leave a comment down below. The real ones will know.
That era of Maz, it's actually quite funny. And then so she done this post on Instagram where
it was about racism.
Yeah, he had black coffee and you had white coffee. And then the post was like something, my coffee, like black coffee, white coffee is just the same.
I wonder if it's archived.
Oh, babe, go check.
Do you want to check? Do you want me to check
it?
Let me check if it's archived, guys.
Because, guys, the post was so funny. It was just like...
It was cringe. It wasn't funny. It was cringe.
It was very cringe.
But it was definitely something that management... Because the purpose of it was to raise awareness for, like, racism. It wasn't actually to be rude. It was definitely... It wasn't even rude.
It wasn't even rude. It was just very, very cringe. It was giving, y'all think you're the first interracial couple to ever post on this. So, babe...
She was probably thinking that.
And you know, can I actually be honest? I didn't even think how funny it was until the blogs picked it up, and then it makes you deep. Like, actually,
I archived that quick time. It doesn't.
Have you got it? You've got the post.
I'm gonna check if I've got it.
I hope she's got the post.
Because I'm two type of people. I'm either going to delete your existence or I'll archive it. And I think I deleted.
I'm a delete. So I
think I deleted all of our
memories of my old life.
Really? Yeah, babe. I've deleted a lot of memories. No, well, I'm looking back now. This is a good era of my life. Oh, I archived some really good content.
We should actually go through our archived stuff one day and tell the stories of who we were then.
Yeah. Oh, babe, I don't. Oh, no. This is why I'm still single. Oh, I think. Do I have... just saw a picture of us.
It was quite early on in the relationship.
Whoa, I need to archive these.
Because you still have your YouTube
I've archived these, but I haven't deleted them. Wow. Oh, I think... Have we got it? Oh my gosh, babe, I'm really nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's only embarrassing.
I can't believe this was me.
Like, it's funny when you can laugh at embarrassing moments.
We're getting close. I don't think I deleted it. I think I just archived it.
Yeah, honestly, take this as I think you should just archive stuff rather than delete it.
Yeah.
Because it's always nice to be able to look back on stuff and laugh at.
Oh, I found it!
Babe, let me see. Please, no! Let me see it.
Oh my God.
I was like, I could describe it way better now.
Are you can I read it first? Is there something that's readable out?
Okay. I hope I don't... No, babe, I think you can read it. It's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. So he has a black coffee in front of him, and Maz has a milky coffee in front of her.
Like a tea, probably.
Like a tea. So this is the caption. I hope I don't get judged for having a white coffee in capital letters. Past couple weeks have been a real eye-opener and let me start again. I hope I don't get judged for having a white coffee. Past couple weeks have been a real eye-opener that some people are still stuck in the ways where they think it's a problem for me to be with a white man. It's 2018 and this should not be happening. Had some really disgusting and shocking comments and messages about being a black woman being with a white man. I grew up knowing that love has no colour. Heart. Which I get.
I think that's calm.
Like, it was the cringe of it.
It was the coffee.
Yeah.
It was the coffee.
It was like, oh, okay, he's got the black coffee, she's got a milky
one. And we're just sitting there like
and they're just posing there smiling.
to this
Oh
topic?
my God.
Well, we got to this topic because my management at the time, they wanted us to, because it was really bad. Like, and it was,
Yeah.
I was the one that was getting a lot of hate for it, and I just didn't understand. So they wanted us to I think, was it around Black History Month as well? Let me check. It was around October. Because, no, it's April. Anyway,
Anyways,
it's April. But, hold on. So my management at that time felt like it was just raise awareness for it, like stick up for yourselves. And I think, like I said, because they weren't black and they didn't have black talent, I don't think they understood how people might think you're doing too much. I think that wasn't why I left, but I think those were the little things that played into, because I'm such a trusting person, and I've gone from management where they know everything, like I trust every strategy, every post they want me to do, everything, that you're thinking the same with another agency, and sometimes they just don't have the knowledge. So yeah, but the reason why I left them was literally because I felt like I was missing out on the community and the black stuff.
oh yeah, you wasn't really in the black space
the black
around
stuff
time,
that I've always wanted to be part of, that I love. And I think this is where, we're getting deep. This is where sometimes I feel like this is where, if you go on Love Island or a platform, and you're a black individual, I think the worst thing you can do is separate yourself from the community.
Black community.
That's the worst.
Because I do think sometimes you think, oh, I want to be mainstream. I want to be like, you want to get into those
spaces, bigger
spaces,
which aren't dominated by black people. You want to be one of the first. You really want to
open those doors.
Yeah.
However, I feel like you can still do that while still being very much in the black community.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like, it's shown so many times that no one's gonna have our back or support us as much as the black
own.
community. So you, even when you do get into those spaces, you want to still have the community with you, not that, oh, she's too far gone and like no one's checking for you in the community, and then shit hits the fan, and then where's your community?
I agree, and I think that's something I've really learned early, because I think you're just thinking, oh, mainstream is like reality. You don't see much black women in reality, that the spaces you want to. And I felt like even little things like hair, like wigs, like they weren't getting it. So you need to, I felt like they just don't get me. And I don't know what they can do with me. So that's when I went back to the original girls that managed me, and they got me to a position where I'm so grateful for to this day. And I'll never say anything bad about what they've done for me. So it's kind of like, and then it got to a stage where I think I've done enough now. Like I couldn't think what else more they could do. And I think where I was mentally as well, I just felt like sometimes mixing friendships and work can be too much. It can be too much. There's high expectations, and it just got for me a bit too much where I thought I need to leave. And I think the worst thing is that sometimes you feel like you wanted to do better for yourself hinders, like it'll upset other people. Do you know what I mean? So that's when it was time for me to move on. I was a different person. I'd done what I could, and I tried YMU. They were really good, but it just wasn't for me. And then on to new things, and sometimes feel. So I've moved from first original management, Vamp, then the reality entertainment, back to Vamp, YMU, and then I've had 5 as well.
Is yours 5?
Yeah, and I've been in the industry for like 10, 12 years.
Same.
5 and 12 years, I think and a big chunk of that was Vamp. They had about 4 to 5 years of me.
Yeah, so I was in the something scene, in the scene, or whatever, the first one. Then I went to Camel Rose.
Never heard
Chanel Ambrose had a agency.
Is that her agency?
Yeah, it was her agency. And then I went to Milk.
Yeah.
And then,
how long did you last in Milk for?
Genuinely, babe, I can't remember. But I don't feel like I was maybe 2 years in each, maybe.
Okay.
Or just under 2 years, or maybe just over a year.
I think as well, you should be able to know how your career is going to go in the first 1 to 2 years of a management. If you can tell, I believe, in 2 years. And it doesn't even have to be like mad. It's always the little accomplishments or the little things that you've ticked off that go around the right path.
And to be fair, I feel like I needed all of those journeys got me to where I am now. Because then I went to Vamp, which is amazing as well. And then from Vamp I went to where I'm at, which is Insanity. And it's like, who knows what the future holds. But it's like, for me, anytime I feel like I know that maybe I just feel like I always know when I need to go, and I will just go. Yeah.
Do you ever feel do you ever feel some kind of way? Because I've had people that I've worked with and have been with management like around the same time, and I know they're unhappy, and I know, and they make it clear that they're unhappy, but I think there's a fear that they can't do it, like
they can't do it alone. Yeah, I was even managing myself for a bit.
Yeah, I rate you for that. I generally do not. Maybe now I'm a bit older, and I feel more confident, and I know what I can give. It's easier, but I don't think I can manage myself, and I really rate people that take that time to take on all that responsibility.
Yeah.
How did you find managing yourself?
That was also a good time as well.
What was easier?
Definitely having management, but it was nice to know that, you know, I could also do it by myself, because I don't think I could do it by myself. But however, I had that period where I was just managing things myself, and it just made me even realize even more that I made the right decision in leaving, because a lot of the stuff at that time I felt like were outbound.
Yeah.
So people were coming into me. So it was like, a lot of these managements were just kind of eating off me, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, it made me more clued up. Like,
Yeah.
in this life, if people can finesse, they will finesse. And there's nothing wrong with that, because everyone's got to make money. But it's just like, it just clued me up to the game a bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, I was just like, this is a bit long, because obviously it is a lot of time consuming when you're also having to do the content, build relationships, do all of that. It's just a lot.
The invoices,
it's like, and then at the same time, sometimes you don't want to represent yourself, because it can also, when there's having those hard conversations, you don't want it to look like it's coming from you directly.
Yeah.
So there's just always that type of, I want to say this, but I'm the talent as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit much. So, all those experiences were really good for me. And I guess, like, for me, I know when I want to move on, when it's like I'm unhappy. And I think what I like about me is I know when it's time to move, because I tell people, like, you would know I'm unhappy, so it shouldn't really be a shock to anyone.
Yeah.
So I always know that I've tried my best in whatever situation I've been in.
That's really good. I think I've gotten a lot better, because I think it's so hard, because I think I'm hot or cold sometimes with things, because I don't know, that's how I would handle a lot of situations. I've handled 2 situations. I regret how I've handled certain situations, because I think I'm very much like, I'm all in, or I rip the bandage off. Yeah. And then sometimes it's very like, whoa,
it's like, Maz,
where did this come from? Yeah. And I think because like you know how you say when someone will know if you're not happy, I'll let it slide. So I'll have things build up,
and then it's like, wait, but Maz, you've let all this build up. Now all of a sudden
you're like ready to go. Yeah. And then it's like, no, because I feel so validated for leaving, because it's just like all of this has happened anyways. So I think moving forward, I just think I just have this thing now where I actually note down, I bring it up, and then when it gets to the point, it's like, I did bring this up.
Yeah,
we did have this conversation.
You gave them a chance as well.
And you have to do what makes you happy.
Exactly. So let's get into some of your deep moving on scenarios or dilemmas, starting with you, Maz.
Okay, so we've got we got one about boyfriends. So first dilemma: when I moved out for uni, my boyfriend of 3 years broke up with me because he didn't want to do long distance. However, it has been over a year and we've been sleeping together every time I go home. All throughout the summer, he's driven to my uni to sleep together a few times. I've now come back to uni for a week and just received a message from a friend back home telling me that a girl she works with is claiming to be dating my ex-boyfriend. She told her they met over summer, and that she's introduced him to her mum, where he has had the time to get in a relationship with whilst also sleeping with me all summer. I did not know, but I messaged him, told him I knew he was seeing someone else, and he said he knows but likes our arrangement. I had to say, I love this boy. He's been in my life for a long time, and I thought we'd figure it out. But referring to me as an arrangement, let me know. Time to move on, girl. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I read that a bit weird. Sorry. But referring to me as an arrangement, let me know. Time to move on, girl. Yeah. Let me know. Time to move on, girl. Yeah, I agree.
And do you know what is so scary about, I would say, dating, situationships, or talking to a guy, is that a guy, like, I feel like sometimes girls have this thing that, some guys, I will say, but most guys, if you allow them to carry on talking to you, carry on sleeping with you,
Carry on cooking for them.
they will keep coming back.
Yeah.
And it's not them being like, oh, because I really like you, or that I can't, I want to be with you at some point. It's the fact that they can.
Yeah.
So unless you move on, the guy will keep coming and
100%.
causing you whatever heartache, confusion that he's causing you, whilst moving on with someone else that he's
settling down
and then one day will either completely ghost or will be in this two-timing thing where you would end up in the worst off situation.
I agree. I feel like guys are like dogs, like not to be insulting, but like, you know how you train your dogs how they're gonna be. So if you let your dog jump on the sofa, he's going to know he can stay on the sofa. You can't be surprised if he goes for the bin and you always leave your bins.
Guys, oh my days. Fun guys.
Just a quick
breaking
pivot,
of, you know, dilemmas right now.
Adeola called me.
I called mine this morning fuming. Fuming. So I'd taken, I had my bin bags out because I've moved, but I don't actually have a bin yet, but I have a bin bags of where I put my rubbish in. And when I'd come back, I had food in my fridge, like lasagna, potatoes, chicken, that had just gone off because obviously I've come back from being away. It's like, I'm not going to eat it anymore. I've put it in the bin, cheese, everything in the bin. And I've just left it in a black bag and I'm getting ready now to come to the studio to work. I can hear, obviously I haven't fed my dog yet. So I can hear not too far from me. And my spidey senses, my ears alert up. And I'm like, I haven't fed this dog. There's no food in her tray yet. What is she doing? Because that doesn't sound like she's playing with a dog.
No.
It doesn't sound like she's eating something she should be. What's going on?
You know that.
Guys, I went on my tippy toes, snuck. Did I not see this dog halfway in my bin? All I could see was her bum out.
Yeah.
And I could see the rest was the black bag.
Yeah.
I thought, you know when your dog shows you you're a dog? I know you're a dog, but don't remind me you're a dog.
Yeah. And one thing, like, I get her frustration because, guys, I have a dog and she's prone to do this, right? It just makes me feel like you're moving like a scavenger.
A scavenger.
As if I don't actually feed you 2 to 3 times a day, like take you out on walks. Like you're moving wayward. Like it's giving like no self-control. And then what makes it work?
It's giving going astray.
Going astray. That's what it's really giving.
That's what it's giving.
And I just feel like, and then what makes it worse is you'll be vomiting, diarrhea.
Babe,
who has to pay the vet's bill?
Me.
And it's just like, nah, like you can't.
Guys, it really irritated me because my dog can't be eating anything, and her stomach is so loose and so sensitive. I just thought, if I go home tonight and she's just done a madness, she shouldn't even chat to me. Anyway, back to
the guys being a dog. Yeah, honestly, like, I think it's a rule. You know, like if you give a guy an inch, he'll take a mile. You have to set your boundaries, and sometimes, like, I think that you have to be really ready if you're doing these casual relationships and arrangements, because guys are very
good at it.
Yeah, because they like to say like they can disattach themselves from emotions, and I think with us it's a lot harder. We can do it, but it's hard.
You're doing it until you're faced with a situation that you just thought, also
he's talking to another girl. Yeah, and that's, you know what I mean, you're physical. So you have to always, I think, when you're doing these kind of arrangements or scenarios, you have to really think, okay, he really does see it like that. Because we've said before, if a guy wants to, he will. Yeah. And if he doesn't, he won't.
Exactly.
And what you allow, he'll do.
Exactly, will continue. But big you up for seeing that and not carrying on with the arrangement.
Yeah, I think
sometimes
that's good.
It's easier to just keep going.
And thinking you can make him change. Like, that's the worst thing. You think you can make them...
change their mind. Yeah. I could get him to wife me. Now you're 3 years.
Yeah. And he's met the mum. But to be fair, the mum thing... Also, it's not always, just because someone meets their mum doesn't mean it's that deep.
Yeah.
But I think...
Because clearly it's not that deep, because he's happy to keep going along with their arrangement.
Yeah. I just think it's too much, but each their own.
Literally. So, deep hit situation 2. Long story short, we met at youth church in 2016. It was love at first sight type of thing. We never dated or anything, but we talked about our intentions with each other, and we lost contact for 2 years. 2018, we started talking again, but nothing serious happened again. 2019, I had my first real relationship and it ended badly. He still hit me up telling me how he's going to marry me and all. 2021, I told him it's time we put what we said into practice. He still stuck to talk and no actions. I got involved with another guy that year, 2022 to 2023. I was single. He hit me up again saying the same stuff but no actions. I then decided to go see him and have a face-to-face conversation. It was promising. Then after that, he still never put in the effort to see me or do anything for me. Then I made the decision to just ignore his words and mind my own business and find someone who actually cares to put in the work, and I did. He still hits me up. I ignore.
Good girl.
Babe.
Round of applause.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These guys will... I swear,
Promise you the
10
world.
years mean nothing to them. They will pop up constantly.
Yeah.
If you don't stop it, if you don't move on, if you don't set your boundaries, they will still be there. And you're here thinking, oh, it must be our bond. We must have something special. No.
He won't. And what's the worst thing is they'll be doing that to you, but then they'll be giving you 20%, but they'll be so willing to give 100% to someone else.
And that would be the worst
thing. And you've wasted years and years clinging on to that drabs, like, crumbs of just affection, of commitment, consistency. And then you'll be like, the basic things, you'll be thinking, oh my God. Yes, I have.
Yeah, I was going to say, this could probably be another whole theme.
Yeah.
But you know that moment when you're down bad? Like, you're getting crumbs, but at the time you don't deep that it's crumbs. But now when you look back, you're thinking, why was I even so...
Let me tell you about my crumb.
What was your crumb?
Just the fact that he held my hand in public was my crumb.
Yeah, that is a bit...
Babe, I actually thought that was a big deal. I was like, oh, like, we've moved forward. And he was my man.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I just feel like I get, like, display of affection, but... there's more than that.
Babe, I think my crumb...
What was your crumb?
This is a real bad moment, I'd say. Probably when they would say something like, they will start adding babe or darling and stuff into...
So you felt special?
Yeah, then I'd feel like, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, like, he's called me babe or like maybe something like, or like when they'll be like, I really want to see you.
That was...
Because it's like, oh, it's been so hard. Like, you know them guys where, I don't know if you've ever had this, but it's like, trying to see them is long. Like, it's like, why can't I just pop up to your house anytime that I want? Or why can't I just be like, Tuesday evening, like, let's do something? Yeah. It's always like, I have to work around your timing. So the moment you make time for me, I'm gas.
Even, just dropping me to the station, I was excited.
Babe.
And it's like, drop me home. Like, you actually have a car?
Oh
like,
my God.
Babe, you know when you deep it?
This one, no, I think I'll save the story for deep it down
what's the theme going to be? When you deep, you were down bad. Yeah, okay, I'll get them loading. But what this girl, she's basically what I noticed with guys as well is actions definitely speak louder than words.
Yes.
There's going to be men that will say it and promise you the world, but honestly, trust a guy by his actions.
Babe, and it's just all talk.
There's always an
excuse.
I want to see you.
But then your actions are not matching.
And I feel like, if a guy knows, okay, this is what I've really learned. Okay, they say the best way to keep a relationship going and happy is if you say yes to the wife, you keep the missus happy. And I feel like guys can. Like, you always see the best relationships when the guys are the ones that are going out of their way, even if they don't want, even if they're but they want to keep their missus happy, and it's like they will, but they just waste other girls' time. I don't understand that.
Why are you wasting the time? And it's up to us to not have our time wasted and
standards. And keep your standards.
Realize the moment that's like, okay, this is too far now. I need to move on.
Yeah, because some people be stuck in situationships for years and years and years and years clinging on.
And time goes by like this before you know it's like, whoa, I've been in it for 6 years.
Because they do say as well that my fiance was saying how when you want to marry someone and you grab them quickly because the streets is, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like if a guy's
my
struggling,
man says that too.
Yeah.
Sorry guys.
My boyfriend says that to my man. I love this. We get it. We're here
Third one.
Third one. Okay, it's about a boy. I was with a boy who hated me spending too much time with my friends and hated me having male friends, full stop. We dated for around 5 months, and in that time, he felt he would feed. Oh gosh, what's wrong with me today? We dated around 5 months, and in that time, he would feed me lies about the girls. Say he thought they didn't value me or that their boyfriends fancied me. It was a lot. But I thought this boy had my best interest at heart. I was young and naive. Eventually, my best friend asked me to meet her and told me she was worried that she'd seen how I'd changed and didn't like how controlling he was. Her coming to me to tell me she thought it wasn't right was a massive wake-up call. I have in the past always gone head first in my relationships, and she wanted to make sure I didn't with this one. It took me a few weeks for me to really see it, but eventually I cut ties with him. The guy has since been accused of some pretty nasty stuff by other girls, and my best friend saved me from what could have been a horrible relationship. I will always be grateful for that. Oh, big up the friend.
Big up the friend up.
Yeah, you want a friend that has discernment, that can just, there's them people that can just tell a character and really know like something about this spirit is not right. And girl, you need to stay the heck away from him. Wow.
And I feel that even shows how strong your friendship is, because one, that could have gone left.
Because girls don't like being told. Let me tell you, girls don't like being told. Like I would hate even like my boyfriend or like my husband.
But that's why you have to trust your friend that is like, she's genuine and she's coming for love. Because if you or Olivia were to sit me down and be like, okay, Adeola,
I don't
like I would have to really sit and deep with that, because it's like, these are two people that I know have genuine love and want the best for me. But there's certain friends that you're just like, I don't even know if you even care for me like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, is it genuine? Are you even happy that I'm in a relationship, or is this you?
Or do you want me to be in this relationship so I have a really horrible, like, so it's just stressful for me?
So, that's
a good moving on one though, because I think it was only 5 months.
Oh, it was only 5 months.
Yeah, and I think those are red flags though. Controlling, like if you like, I don't want you hang around. It's controlling.
I feel like and I think even if your man wants to give you advice on your friends, it's one of them ones, this is the advice, but babe, I've told you.
Not stopping it. Like,
not stopping it, but it's like, if something happens and it's like, babe, I did tell you she wasn't a really good friend, but you have to find out yourself.
And you have to have really good hardcore evidence that it's like, this girl's not your friend. This girl's, do you know what I mean? Because sometimes you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because the only time I would ever say to my man, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you can't be friends with this guy or he can't be in our house if something has happened and I'm now involved, because I feel like I now actually have the, what's it called?
Discernment?
No, I have not the power, but I have the right. I have the right to say something, because now he's done something that's also affected me. Like, I don't know if he comes to my house and then he's, I don't know, done something in the house. It's like, well, babe, he clearly doesn't respect our house, so he can't come to the house no more. But I wouldn't ever just tell my man just off of just a feeling. I don't want you being that friend. I'll just be like, babe, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really feel like he's a good friend.
The next one was to say, I think I've only ever said, it's not like I didn't like not my current partner, this was like a past relationship. It's not like I didn't like the friends, I just felt like the friends held him back. And I think that's also quite important in the sense of, like, your company's who you are as well. And if they give kind of like, but not bummy, I don't want to be rude, but it wasn't giving ambitious. It wasn't giving like blah, blah, blah. How are you going to bounce off that? And then it's like, if I'm in this, like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, and then your energy's low because of the people you're around. So I think that's something you can pull your partner up. If you think that they're affecting, especially when you see so much potential in someone and the people around them are draining that, I think you should be able to say, your friends aren't elevating you in the way that they should be, kind of thing. So
Wait, was that the third one already?
Yeah, I know. This is where now we have to deliberate which one we think is the deepest. And you can start this week. You can go first.
Okay, I will go into the courtroom, Your Honour. Okay, so I would put deepest situation story 3 as the deepest, which is the one. Which one is this? Spending too much. Oh yeah, he was doing controlling vibes, because I think the fact that she had heard nasty things about him later, or like whatever he done later, because she didn't really get into it, it just shows that she moved on at the right time. So if she didn't move on, she probably would have been in one of those situations she heard about him later on. And I just think that could have really changed the direction of her life. Do you know what I mean? So I put that as the top. Second, I would put the one that, is this the one, Sleep Together? Maz? That's fine. And then the one that I'll put as second is the one that, the arrangement one, because I do think that that is quite deep, because I feel like that's how people end up in situationships for like 5-6 years, and the guy that you're putting all your energy into ends up being with, like, having a wife, getting kids, being in a whole happy other situation, while you're just there, you're taking my body arrangement and just not even giving a hell about me. And it's like, you actually used to be my boyfriend as well. So, and I feel like it's quite deep for someone to go from your boyfriend to then seeing you as an arrangement, but then moving on with someone else. That's just rude. And then, yeah, the last one I put as, yeah, because he was just all talk, no action. And I mean, that's just boys these days. At least she kind of figured it out. But in between... Yeah, but it just hit my lip, but it's fine. Shall I leave it like this?
Yeah.
Shall I hold it?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah.
But I'll figure it out.
Yeah, so the last one, I just feel like it's kind of not that deep, because in between she was talking to other people. It wasn't really holding her back. It was just that anytime she was single, she would give him the chance to really be action and not just talk, but he never came through. And she actually realized, you're always going to be all talk and no action. So yeah, that's my ratings, guys.
Okay, cool. I feel like I'm going to start with the least deepest, because I think that's quite easy to do straight away. And I think number 2 is the least deepest. I think this is more of like she's acknowledged something and she's kind of stood on business, if that makes sense. When I was listening to this scenario, I thought it was really cute how they first met, and then they lost contact. I thought this was going to be like a proper happy ending kind of vibe. And then for her to just basically meet someone else that his actions were louder than his words is kind of just like good on her. Like, she didn't let what could have been be her, oh, but it could have been. You've got someone that's live in action right now that's showing you what he's capable of, what he wants, and you went for it. So I just think that's the least deepest. You just have a lot of like self-love, I would say, and you just have like a good set of brains in your head. You just know what you want, and I love that for you. So yeah, and she just ignores him. I love that. She doesn't even let him try to worm his way back in. She just stands on business. And then I'd say I'm between number 1 and number 3. So I just need a minute. Okay, so I feel like number 3. I think number 3 is the deepest, because I think there's a lot of emotional abuse here. Like, I think when someone is controlling like who you are around to the level where your friends kind of clock it as well, that you can't, that they love you so much, they want you all to yourself, that you can't kind of be with other people, is such a red flag. And even the fact that it was in such a short time frame, like 5 months, that's heavy. And I feel like if you're not someone that, first of all, have good people around you to notice these things, or someone that can clock these things, you will be in a situation like that for so long, and it might be a little too late. And that was clearly what happened. The fact that, you know, she heard stories, really disturbing stories from what he's done with other girls. So this is really deep, because if that was me in that situation, as someone that's always quite forgiving, or blah blah blah, you just never know how it'll end up. And I just love how the friend was able to like sit her down and just say, nah, like, this guy's not for you. And it's deep. It could have gone really left. And then number 1, I think it was very close for that being the deepest, because I think it's really hard when you love someone and you still keep them in your life, and, you know, you get to a stage where you're comfortable with the arrangement, and the arrangement is like you're sleeping together, and for us girls, sleeping with someone, as it's not as easy for it to just be physical. There is an element of emotion, and the fact that you two were in a relationship, it's easier. You know, you can let it slide more. If it was a random stranger, you're most likely a bit more, no, I'm not here for that. But when it's someone you're already comfortable with, they know your body, it's easy to slip into that. And I think you get back comfortable, and then to see that you're there being technically loyal to him, you're not going out of your way to date other people. And then now he's got something with someone else. He's opened a new level with that person now where they've met the mother, and then you're referring to me now as the arrangement. It just devalues who I am, and then it also kind of overrides everything we've been through. If anything, you'd think, okay, I'm kicking it with my ex, we'll probably get back together. Maybe he's dating maybe he's just like sleeping with someone for the sake of it. But when it comes down to it, he'll come back for me and change for me. So that's the main thing. But I'm glad that she saw that, okay, this guy, he sees me as distant now. I'm moving on. So yeah, number 2 is the most, then number 1, and then number 3 as the least. So every time I want to say Adeola's name, I know it sounds really bad, but I always want to say Areola.
Where's Areola from?
It's the nipple.
Yeah, I know. But what makes you...
I don't know why sometimes I just always want to say to Areola.
Babe.
Corny, I know. But anyways, Adeola. Which one do you think is the deepest?
I said... I can't remember now. I'm thinking I said the one with her... The controlling.
Yeah. Number 3.
Yes.
I voted number 3 as well. I felt like she could have been in a deep situation, basically, yeah.
Like she got out of that one.
Well, she could. And I think she was lucky to have a good friend to clock it. And, you know, sometimes...
Exactly.
Because you try to stay out of your boyfriend's... Sometimes,
your friend's relationships.
Yeah, and sometimes when... You know when your friends tell you too much, this is what advice, guys. I would say you don't need to tell your friends everything about your relationship. Not everything. Obviously, you want advice, but I think there are certain things where you need to have boundaries where, because your friends will start to hate your man. If every time you're telling them the worst thing, and what's worse, if you tell them more worse than good, they'll start to hate. So you have to kind of know when's the right thing to complain about as well. Yeah. So clearly her friend had said, no, this one is too much now. So... And then what was the second one after? Would you say?
My second one, well, my last one was the girl that just was going, the guy that was all talk and no action.
What, from church?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Because I just thought she was just a smart girl. Like, she didn't let him take advantage.
She was still dating in between that. It was just any time she had a moment to be single, it was like, well, hello, are you really going to go through with what you've been saying?
Yeah. I kind of thought this would be it. Like, when you started reading this dilemma, like this scenario, I started thinking, oh, they went to church. Yeah. They rekindled, and then it just kind of went downhill, didn't it? Yeah. But... Yeah, I really love this one. It's nice because I think moving on is so broad. It can even be home. Sometimes your environment is time to move on. It's not inspiring you anymore.
Exactly.
Friendships, it's not.
So many. And to be fair, all the stories that we did get today were based on boys. However, listeners, if you have other stories around this theme, just send it to our page because we can always reload it and then
come back.
Probably just specify your... whatever your moving on topic is about, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
So guys, you know what to do. Follow us on our socials at DeepHitPod everywhere. And make sure you like, comment and subscribe. And if you are listening on audio, please give us 5 stars.
And that is it from me, Mariam Musa. I will see you guys next week.
See you guys next week. Bye.